And right now we got him on the show on the Elliott's Barbecue guest line. Armanti Edwards, good morning. How you doing?
Pretty good, and you?
Doing great, man. We're just so excited for you to be here with the Carolina Panthers. Just first off, I do want to talk a little bit about App State, but of course we'll talk Panthers. Take us back to the first moment when you heard that you were going to be drafted by the Carolina Panthers. What went through your mind?
I actually didn't know where I was going until 5 minutes before that pick.
Wow.
Yes, it was a big shock to me also. But once I got the phone call, I was relieved and, more importantly, and excited that I was staying close to home.
Absolutely. Well, now of course you played quarterback at App State, and you were excellent at quarterback. At what point during the process from graduating from App, finishing up your season there, and then going through the process of being an NFL draft prospect, did you realize that you were going to have to play wide receiver and you were going to have to switch positions?
I knew it when I was training for the combine, so it wasn't nothing shocking that I just like I got thrown into the fire. I basically knew it all along.
We're talking with wide receiver Armanti Edwards from the Carolina Panthers right now on Sports Yap. And Armanti, have you looked at some game film from former quarterbacks who have switched to wide receiver? There have been plenty of guys in the NFL that have done so. Have you been able to look at some game film of those type of players?
No, sir, not yet. Minicamp was last weekend, and it went so fast, so we didn't have time to actually sit down and watch film. But once I get back, I will start watching film on people.
All right. Well, so what were some of the thoughts that you had with minicamp? Was it a little overwhelming, or did you have a lot of fun?
It was a lot of fun. I caught on to the playbook very fast. Just got to get used to running routes against defenders.
Definitely. So what are some of the skills that you had at quarterback that do translate to the wide receiving position?
Say just like anybody else, say my athleticism. I have the ability to run very well, so I just take that and translate it to receiver and start running great routes.
And then what are some of the things that you think you got to improve on the most?
It's the same thing, Got to improve on running routes. Got to learn how to block and maintain my block.
Definitely. All right. Well, so we're talking with Armanti Edwards right now on Sports Yap. What? Now you've only had one mini camp, but what was the interaction like with the teammates and showing up and realizing, man, I'm a part of an NFL franchise right now?
Everybody welcome all the rookies with open arms. When we made mistakes or needed help, they was there to help us and help us learn. Everything was pretty good overall.
And how did Steve Smith interact with you?
Great. He asked a lot of questions in the meeting rooms to the coaches. So we just listened to him and the coaches go over some things. And when we was out there on the field and we made mistakes or needed help, he was one of the people there that was helping.
Definitely. And also now there's another app guy on the team, Dexter Jackson. What's that like being reunited with him, of you competing for that wide receiver position?
Great and weird at the same time. It's great to have a former teammate you played with in college on the same NFL team. But then we're playing the same position now, so we have to have a little competition now.
Now, what has he been saying to you? Has he said, man, you got to stick to quarterback. I'm the receiver. You're the quarterback.
He hasn't said too much about it. He's been trying to help me also, so everything is pretty good.
That's great. Well, let's talk a little bit about your college career, and when you think back, what's maybe one memory that really sticks out to you?
A couple. Obviously the national championships. We had a lot of wins. Everybody always talking about the Michigan win, so that's never going to be forgotten. And just the great atmosphere of playing that in our home stadium up there.
Absolutely. Well, what if people ask you the most about the Michigan game?
Basically, yes. How does it feel to beat those guys? I get that question a lot.
Yeah, and then what do you say?
It's overwhelming. Now that I look back on it, but at that that time, we didn't have really much time to think about it. We had to move on to the next game.
That's exactly right. We're talking with Armanti Edwards, wide receiver for the Carolina Panthers and former App State quarterback. And Armanti, now I know you've just gotten here with the Panthers, but just initial reaction to John Fox and maybe even the philosophy that you understand from his style of coaching compared to Coach Jerry Moore and sort of the philosophy that he's had while you were at App State.
Both coaches want to see the players work hard. But I would say John Fox, he's more outgoing and giddy up like he's a young player himself, and compared to Jerry Moore, who's laid back. But they're both wanting to see their players work hard.
Now, what about the idea that you're going to be the punt returner and have an opportunity to be a punt returner? What are some of the things you've had to work on to allow yourself to put yourself in a position to be the punt returner here?
Everything that a punt returner has to do. I never returned punts in my life, so I've been starting from ground zero and going up. But I've got very comfortable with catching the ball.
What's maybe the biggest surprise from being a punt returner? Maybe something you didn't realize that you had to do back there.
When you watch it on TV, when the ball is kicked and the player is up under, it doesn't look hard at all, but it's actually very hard trying to judge the ball in the air. So it was kind of shocking to me when I first tried it.
We're talking with Armanti Edwards from the Carolina Panthers. Now, the big conversation in the offseason will be the wide receiver position, but also the quarterback position on the Panthers. There's 4 guys competing for that spot. What did you see from them in minicamp from Matt Moore and Clausen and a couple of the other guys? What did you, as a former quarterback, what did you think of the quarterback core on the Panthers?
That they did pretty good for a minicamp. All of them were accurate. They made smart decisions. So, of course, you're going to make mistakes as quarterbacks since you got the ball every play. But for the most part, they were very accurate and very smart with the ball.
Did anybody stand out to you more so than anybody else?
I couldn't really tell because everything was going so fast and we was all in a rotation. So, couldn't really tell who you was going with half the time. You just had to get up there and learn your plays.
Definitely. Now, what about the whole idea of them using you in some different ways and maybe even behind center a little bit in wildcat formations? How excited does that make you being able to maybe even throw the ball a little bit in the Panthers offense?
It's just very exciting that they want to use me at multiple positions. It just gives me a chance to get out on the field and hopefully get the ball and do some things as much as possible. So that's very exciting.
So what do you have going on the next couple of weeks, and what are some of the off-season duties that you have now that you're a Carolina Panther?
We report back on the 16th, but for the 2 weeks they gave us off, the sprint coach gave us our workouts to do for the 2 weeks. And when we get back, we'll be doing our off-season training.
All right. Well, now are you going to move to Charlotte?
Yes, sir. I won't be moving right away, but when I get back, I'll be looking for some places.
All right. Well, that sounds good. Well, Armanti, listen, man, we're very excited for you to be on the Carolina Panthers, and we look forward to watching you and hopefully talking with you as the season goes on.
All right. Thank you.
All right, thanks a lot. That's Armanti Edwards, wide receiver for the Carolina Panthers. It's weird for me to say wide receiver, but that's former quarterback from Appalachian State, and we appreciate him coming on the show.